You better be out there doing your job, David D. Welcome to the producer, David D. Welcome to the inaugural launch of our the old Grassy Knoll, episode 1. I am Mac, aka Mr. Burger, and that young lady below me is
Tiny but fierce.
that beautiful old man just to the right of me is,
Iron Oxide.
and that
How's everybody doing
wonderful
tonight?
young man right below him is.
I'm B.S. Warren. I'm the Blacksmith of Worlds, author of Young Monarchs, Last War of the Eight Kingdoms, and many more fantastic works to come.
Fantastic. We will get to his awesome plug here in a little bit. Make sure you have your website ready, Mr. Warren. Folks, we are going to head down a unusual road for the Burger Bunch. For myself, Mr. Burger, we're going to talk about unusual phenomenon. Basically, this entire show is basically a trip into the realm of UFOs, paranormal phenomenons, cryptics, all sorts of stuff. We're going to go down that road and explore the possibilities and bring you some facts, separate some fiction, point out hoaxes, and try and do some answers, give you some answers. And as always, I'll let Iron take over here with the total description. But first, as we open up every one of these shows, I am in perfect health and not at all suicidal. Nobody on this panel is. Everybody on this panel is an excellent driver, and they take care of themselves physically. So if anything happens to us, I want it fully investigated.
Well, I have to put a caveat on that where my health is unbelievably bad, but it has been for 20 years, and I'm slowly making a recovery. So if I go down, it's not me.
I'm still going to stand at the doorways of the NSA and demand answers about your potential demise. Listen, we're all great. And this is, let me make sure we understand this. Everything that we're doing tonight is pure speculation. Mm-hmm. We are not receiving information from any third-party sources that are in the government or inside or outside the government. This is just speculation for entertainment purposes. Isaac Cappy. So there you go. Iron, do a better job of summarizing the show, and then we'll get to it.
No problem. I think what we're going to take a look at tonight are the drone or UFO phenomenon over New Jersey, and talk about some theories that we may have about that as well.
Excellent. That's exactly right. This show is focused in on the Jersey drone happening, the phenomena that are going on right now. It's still going on, by the way. Just because it's dropped out of news doesn't mean it's stopped. As a matter of fact, to a certain degree in a certain area towards the Down Neck region, the Trenton area, it's actually increased. But ladies and gentlemen, fun fact, it didn't start there, which is an awesome segue to this. Folks, believe it or not, everything in Jersey actually started in Arizona. That's where it actually started. There were sightings in Arizona that came up way before stuff started happening in New Jersey. And the New Jersey thing was the second week in November. What happened in Arizona started, I guess, roughly the middle of September. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to demonstrate how different and why it was important to take the nation's eyes off of what was going on in Arizona and point them towards Jersey. Let me bring up this stuff.
We can't get much more different than Arizona than Jersey.
That is correct. That is correct. Here is the first video we're going to play from Arizona. Again, this happened middle October, maybe. Here we go.
What are those? They are not moving.
Well, now.
Yeah, stark difference from what we see when we get to the Jersey clips.
That's correct.
Is that a chopper approaching them from the left?
That is. This is a telltale. Thank you for bringing that up, Mr. Warren. That is a telltale sign. These things are followed by choppers. If they're so fake, and we all know what they are, and my good co-host says they're just Walmart drones that anybody can buy, why are police choppers being sent to investigate them?
Mm-hmm.
Mostly because they're much, much bigger. We'll get into what these things are in Arizona a little bit more thoroughly later on in the program. Let me share some more video of what's happening in Arizona with you. This is the big one. This is basically the first one, I believe, that happened in Arizona that caused the switch in attention, if you will.
Arizona, y'all. I don't know what's going on. Sorry for my language. What? I don't know what's going on. Look at all this stuff. You see this? The sky?
They're circling.
They're circling literally.
Something.
They are circling literally. They are circling literally. What is this? Somebody please tell me. I don't know what this is.
There's something at the bottom too.
Ladies and gentlemen, why I am saying that that's an authentic video is because of the people talking around it and underneath it. They are seeing something that they do not understand. Notice the lack of sound coming from these objects. I'm sorry, someone was going to say something. Go ahead.
Oh, it's interesting enough. Those drones seem to be actually putting themselves in the shapes of certain constellations.
And that's also wow. I was going to bring that up later.
Oh, sorry.
Spoiler alert, folks. They do seem to replicate star patterns as if they're trying to tell us something.
I mean, that looks a lot like Orion on the right.
Correct.
Yeah.
I mean, in the sky, it gets spread out more, but that's a lot like Orion. And then you'd have Sirius down there. When she said there's something on the bottom, you can see that there's an almost brighter one down there. And the one to the left looks a little bit like the Big Dipper.
Again, almost like they're taking the concept of crop circles and doing them in the air, almost like they're trying to pass a message on. She picked up on that in the first few minutes of the broadcast, and it took me almost 3 months to come to that conclusion.
Or they're trying to blend in. I mean, it could be that they're trying to send a message. It could be that they're trying to blend in.
I think
no one's paying attention to what's above them.
I think more this is the same. This is equivalent to a crop circle, only they're floating. Let me get on to the next one here. Again, in Arizona. By the way, there were hundreds of these videos that were being taken in Arizona. Hundreds between late August and all through September. Too many for the media to ignore. The national news was starting to pick up on it, and then suddenly we had Jersey.
Well, I have to say,
and one of the problems with
go ahead, you guys. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, one of the problems with things that come out of Arizona and for the same manner Nevada is there are always so many reports and so many videos of different objects in the sky that it's easy to get brushed off. It's like, oh, that's just more crazy BS coming out of those states when there's a reason for that. But
well, yeah,
and it got overwhelmed with footage.
Anytime something happens in Arizona, it actually makes me think more government than not government, because Arizona and to a small degree Nevada both have some of the best air in the entire world. We literally sell rights for pilots from other air forces to come train in Nevada and Arizona because the air is so amazing for training the pilots. There's really
clear skies, very clear skies, very easy to observe. She's absolutely right. So is iron. They get flooded with this stuff. But again, imagine that doubled during this period of time, all of it coming out of Arizona, and then we all get kind of distracted with New Jersey. Let me play this clip.
Right.
That could be a drone. I don't know what the hell.
He's whispering.
But that is quick. There's only one remaining right now. Get it? Super quick.
Wow, and this is from December.
Yep.
He's like right there with it. Go, oh, he's like right on it. Oh, ooh, that whatever it was just shot down the drone. If that was a drone.
Yep, they shot it down. It's falling to the earth as we speak.
Yep.
Folks, again, I would venture to guess is this is a very authentic video. By the way, again, this isn't staged. This is a real conversation happening between two real people. That again, there's so many sightings in Arizona. It became overwhelming. So, in my opinion, what they had to do is take the attention off of it. Let's see if we can get into what happened next.
Something I noticed just now about that
Yeah.
last one. There's no descent spiral. Like if a even if like something that something conventional that we know about hovers like a helicopter,
Mhm.
if that gets hit with like a rocket or something, it there's like a spiral it goes into when it goes down. It doesn't just drop in a straight line. That dropped in a straight line.
Ultimately,
and I was
Mr.
going to say it looked like it got hit by a pulse of something. I was wondering if it was like an EMP or something that just shut down everything, so it turned it into basically a falling stone.
Yeah.
And again, Mr. Warren, we may be dealing with exotic physics. We may be dealing with things that are not necessarily aerodynamic. So it might negate the spiral that you speak of. However, it could be a situation where it could have been a controlled landing. Maybe they just damaged it and it was able to land itself in a controlled way. We don't know. But what we will try and find out here is this next segment.
I was also really interested how the color.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Tiny. Tiny, are you there? Hello? Am I here? Can people see hear me?
Sorry.
Yeah, I
I
can hear you.
got muted. Sorry. I have a cat, and my cat likes to play with things. So what I was trying to say was, I thought it was really interesting that the color changed. That when the red thing that was up there pulsed and hit the drone or whatever it hit, the drone looked red-orange as it fell down. The color actually seemed to have changed in that video.
Believe it or not, we are going to do after we do the Diddy stuff and the Epstein stuff, Iron and I are going to get back into the UFO stuff, and there may be a reason for that. I'm going to touch on it a little bit towards the end here, but there's a reason for the different color changes, and there may be an explanation as to why they change colors the way they do. Here we go with this. Let me see if this is the right segment. Forgive me if it's not. Roll the dice. Folks, we're going to explore the possibility. We're going to try and go through what I believe or what we believe to be the actual look, shape, technology of the Jersey drones. Here we go. First of all, let's give you a little bit of background. I believe we're going to go into a little bit of background of how it all started. Let's make sure I get into that particular folder. Give me a sec. Talk amongst yourselves, if you would.
Well, actually, the new telescope, the James Woods telescope, it did show all sorts of stuff that astronomers were ecstatic about and happy. But there's certain things that actually kind of prove that there's something to do with physics that we don't understand.
Correct.
There's literally aspects to physics that we didn't know existed. That is the only way to explain some of the stuff that was seen with the new super telescope. That's like, it's got infrared and like gravimetrics and other things that it can sense. It's not just looking at light. And supposedly the way the universe works looks almost like our science and math had explained it, but something's not quite right.
And imagine if you're a civilization that developed on one of those places that the telescopes are looking at, you would have a different understanding or different materials or different things to work with than we would, that might be capable of bending physics as we know it. For example, Bob Lazar talked about element U115, element 115. That element apparently naturally emits gravimetric waves. For all we know, Tiny could be what Tiny is talking about. They could have spotted a planet with those rocks, element 115 lay around in the same way that we have brick or limestone and everything. You could have whole planets made of that stuff, which allow for the manipulation of gravity. So you never know. She's absolutely right. These things could come from places that physics don't obey the same rules as they do here. There you go. Here we go.
There's just new rules that we need to learn. We think we understand the basic ways the universe works, and guess what? We're still learning.
Exactly. Hopefully we don't end up blowing ourselves up in the learning process. Folks, a little bit of background on what's going on in Jersey. Here we go.
Definitely wasn't a plane because it was too low, and it was also going back and forth and then forwards and backwards.
Melissa Kasilniak took this cell phone video Wednesday night from her home in Chatham in Morris County. She says that large object with the flashing red and green lights was hovering just above her neighbor's rooftops.
I think the creepy part is not that it's just a drone, that they're so large.
They look like a small car to me. Their wingspans are probably 6 feet across.
Mark Taylor is the mayor of Florham Park, one town.
Just to point out something, folks. Again, I love Crow. But Crow is kind of insisting that these are just things you buy off the shelves, or they're industrial drones like you use to fight fires or stuff like that. No. They're much bigger,
military grade.
Yeah, and I'm gonna show you just how big they can get.
North of Chatham.
People are calling myself, my home. It's one of those things where they are alarmed.
The FBI is investigating the clusters of possible drones reported over the last few weeks. Florham Park's police chief sent a message to residents that drone sightings have been reported above critical infrastructure, such as water reservoirs, electric transmission lines, rail stations, police departments, and military installations. He added that their presence appears nefarious in nature. In Somerset County last week, officials had to cancel an emergency medical helicopter transport because drones were spotted near the chopper's landing area. Some residents in Chatham and across.
Actually, that was that thing was on its way to a military base, and they had to reroute because they couldn't identify multiple targets. Multiple targets.
Across the Garden State say they're starting to worry.
So for some reason, I think of terrorism, which is very morbid.
Local police say there's no immediate threat to the public. But all eyes here are on the sky. In Chatham, New Jersey, Nick Calloway, CBS News.
Folks, first of all, what do you guys think? What's your analysis? What's your opinion on what you just saw there?
Well, if you take what we were looking at in Arizona and compare that to what we were seeing in Jersey, completely different.
Completely agreed, Iron.
Immediate.
Also, they said that there's what is it? They're not dangerous. They're no threat to people. This is New Jersey we're talking about. This isn't Arizona. Arizona's a lot. It has, substantial population in certain areas, but it's a lot more spread out. There's a lot more countryside. Jersey, there's like 3 square miles of countryside. Yeah. So if they shoot one of them down, that it's probably going to crash into somebody's neighborhood. It could end up in someone's pool. It could end up in someone's car.
House.
Yeah. So,
welcome, Master Hobo. Welcome.
That might be one of the reasons
they're
why
so
they
quick to say, "Oh, these are absolutely, totally for serial, no threat. It's completely safe." Well, then why aren't you telling us what they are?
That's always been my question.
Yeah, I think they're trying to avoid a panic. I think that's and forgive me if I'm about to spoil something later in the show, but I don't know if you have the clip of Donald Trump being asked about the drones.
Yeah.
And him saying there's him saying no comment. I think 100% they know what they are.
He didn't say no comment. He didn't say no comment. He specifically said, yes, I have been told what they are because he gets, as president-elect, he was getting the same security briefings as the president. He said, I do know what they were. I have talked to them, and I do not agree with the government not telling you. And that was it. But he did say that he knew what they were and that the government should have told us.
He also said he didn't agree with the government's description of what they were. I don't agree with their analysis of what this is, and we need more information, and they need to disclose more information to us, was pretty much the meat and potatoes of what he said.
Okay.
Hobo, what do you think?
Is my mic working? 1, 2.
Let's get the
Yeah, you're
homeless
on,
perspective.
Welcome in, Hobo.
Hello. I'm
What do you
nervous
think?
right now, though. I'm
It's
trying
okay.
to.
It's okay. If you want me to come back to you, I will.
Yeah.
All right. No
Well,
problem.
I will say also, what we saw in Arizona was, even though the last one that looked kind of more hectic, but then we saw the constellation possibility. They were controlled. They seem to be like doing something on. The ones in Jersey just kind of look like they're just trying to get your attention. Like if you could, if you were trying, like you mentioned that like the Jersey thing was partially a distraction motive. So the fact that it ends up on the news, the mainstream or legacy news, that's a big warning sign. And the fact that these things are blinking red and green, things that people are used to, like that the government uses for stuff. And I'm sorry, there was just so much about New Jersey that feels like, look at me, look at me, look at me.
Yeah.
Whereas in Arizona, it was much more something's going on and we're seeing it, not it's trying to get our. Does that make sense?
Yes, because I was going to bring up that point a little bit later. Aliens don't use FAA warning lights.
Exactly.
Iranian or Chinese or Russian.
They would warn us in a different way, frankly.
Yep.
It's like the one that was orange. The whole thing was just orangey red, and that was it. And then those other ones were just clear white, blue, and that was it. There's none of this weird, none of this color warning symbols that we make sense as humans going on with that stuff.
Yeah, aliens will have a different way of like warning each other.
Correct. Let's get into the fact that, well, why haven't we gotten decent imagery of this stuff? Let's get into that right here.
My drone does not want to go up with these things around.
The battery's dead?
There's no way the battery's dead. It's fully charged.
It's 0. It won't let me.
What is going on? Okay, these are fully charged batteries. It's 2 batteries that have died within seconds, and the drone went up and, like a couple feet off the table, and then came right back down. The craziest thing. They will not fly. Like, it won't fly.
Not an EMP, but it is something.
Air gap. I'll explain in a second.
Is that
government conspiracies? But listen, there's
maybe you should start.
And people's regular drones will not go up in the air and crash out. What the fuck?
That there is something that is extremely strange about this situation. Not just her drones, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody's drones are acting that way. Thus, let me show you this other clip of another gentleman who tried to do the same thing.
Over at Picatinny, there was a drone just hanging out. I put my drone up in the air and went towards it. I had full battery life. Not 3 minutes into the flight, I lost control of the drone. Warning on my screen, lost control, and my drone started going down, dead battery.
Isn't that interesting, panel?
And these aren't people that are new to the hobby either. These are people with some experience in using them.
Correct. The second they try and get a close-up picture of these things, the second they try and do what's called, the battery dies, or the drone just drops out of the sky. There's other video I have of them talking about the things. Just it got up about 1,000 feet away from it, moving towards it. Closer it got, it started to lose battery, and then just fell. That's it. Fell.
Serious energy suck.
Yep. Most likely, Tiny's right. It might be an EMP. It might be an air gap, which is the ultimate hack. It is the ability to hack without wires, without Wi-Fi, without Bluetooth. Basically, you can literally stand in a room with a device and jump to any computer through I don't remember what type of technology we're using. I think it was believe it or not, I think it was tachyon based or something, being able to rewrite the chip in real time to accept orders from the air gap device. Literally, that you could be holding the air gap device, stand in a room with no connection at all, and brute force take over a computer.
That's crazy.
The Navy's been working on that for years. They want that.
Isn't there some
technology.
connection to 5G as well?
This stuff doesn't even require that, Iron. It doesn't require cell signal. It doesn't require Bluetooth. It uses a completely different method of communication that talks to the chip itself.
Proof that all the good drugs go to DARPA.
Yes, they do. And by the way, DARPA probably invented it. Probably invented it. Probably had it for years. More on.
No, absolutely. Anything DARPA's doing right now, we will not know about for 5 to 10 years.
That's correct.
And then when it comes out, you know that DARPA did it a decade ago, and you're going, how the hell? Every single time something comes out, my brain just goes either how the hell or then why the hell?
Yeah,
why not?
Yep.
That's the problem. That question right there. That's a problem.
This is one of the clearest shots of the Jersey drone. And tell me if this looks like your standard FAA lighting pattern.
It's loud.
It's really cute.
And it's huge.
It's so big. It looks so much closer in person.
Yeah, my camera doesn't do it. Looks like a spaceship, right? Like that doesn't look like a drone, right? That looks like a spaceship. It's like a small plane. It really is like a small plane.
But the lighting configuration is totally not correct for a plane.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
And again, the movements, patterns, size, sound completely different than what we saw in Arizona.
Exactly.
Some airplanes make noise though.
Yeah, that was the one thing that was
Yeah.
really interesting to me was it seemed to have vertical thrust or whatever so that it could hover, but it wasn't making, I couldn't hear almost anything from it. And almost all of our planes that I know of that have vertical thrust are really loud.
Yes.
Yeah,
I've,
definitely.
Unless you use impeller technology or impeller thrust-based technology or ion thrust-based technology, which we will get into on the on a show coming up on how UFOs actually work, the engines specifically. Check that out in April. Go on, you guys.
Military drones are much bigger than people realize. A Reaper drone, a Predator drone, these things are much, much bigger than most people realize.
Yep.
I just want to be clear on that.
Yeah, and we're going to show you some examples of just how big they can get. Last one from Jersey. Here we go.
Everything is about to change. Over the course of the next few years, there will be certain things that will occur. Ships may appear over your oceans just offshore. It will not move. They will remain there to give you time to get used to the idea that we are here, to get used to the idea that this is the beginning of a great change upon your planet, of a great change in your society. You will start.
Yeah, no, it's not. What
They do not know us humans.
Even if the aliens coming were planning that, which we have no guarantee in any way, shape, or form, yeah, it's not gonna go down.
Now, some of it, again, we will get into the theory. Iron and I are going to go down. We hope you guys join us. We're going to go down a very weird road as to what this all could be connected to over the next few months. But as you can see from this video, these things are everywhere. It is not just Jersey. It is not just what's called. They're everywhere, all over the globe, everywhere.
That's a lot of drones, supposedly.
Yep. We're going to get into that thing in just a minute, coming up. All right. Matter of fact, we're going to, I tell you what, Mr. Warren, do you have your stuff ready? We're going to take a quick break here and then we're going to get into the rest of it. What's it called? Do you have your stuff ready? Make sure you have your page to be
motion
shared.
Inundated.
Yes, sir. Let me, I got my screen right here.
All right. There we go. Go ahead, Mr. Warren. Do your plug, folks, and then we'll do a quick plug for Iron as well and Tiny. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I mentioned earlier, I'm the author of Young Monarchs: Last War of the Eight Kingdoms. That is this book right now. This is Young Monarchs: Last War of the Eight Kingdoms. It's an epic adult high fantasy novel about 8 royal heirs who band together to save their world from all-out war following an insane week-long bender on mushrooms. Super high octane story. It's actually got space aliens in it. I got let me zoom in. Well, it messed with the image a bit, but this guy you see peeking out the corner right here, this guy's an alien right here.
My favorite character.
Yeah,
He looks so
he's
human
Ian's
to me.
favorite. Yeah, no, he's part of a sentient race of starfaring robots. But yeah, each of these characters hails from a kingdom that is completely unique. Some of them are full of arcane wonders. Some of them are full of technological miracles. It's absolutely awe-inspiring. You know, it's got tons of high octane fantasy action, lots of royal intrigue, you know, large scale clashes between good and evil on the open battlefield, vice, explosive young romance. I go crazy with it. And if you claim it in paperback right here, I mean, you can get it on Kindle if you like. You can get it on Kindle if you like. I've had a few people leave some 5-star ratings, which is really good. But yeah, if you want to get the paperback, you can grab it here, or you can grab it from me this weekend at where is it? Right there. You can grab
where
it
are
from
you
me
going to
this
be?
weekend. Big Lick Comic-Con in Roanoke, Virginia. So from February 1st to the 2nd, I'll be there. I'll have the books. I will also have the stickers. So if you go to, where is it? Yeah, the Chibi stickers right here. I got 8 stickers featuring each of the main character cast of Young Monarchs. I got everyone from Bjorn to Tetris to Anubis.
Nice.
You can stick them on your water bottle. You can stick them on your refrigerator. You can stick them on your face. You can stick them on your girlfriend's butt. You know, wherever you want. But yeah, and I got more merch that I'm working on now. I got a design for a t-shirt back. So once I cobble together the cash to get an initial inventory order for that in, I'll start selling those at cons as well. Not this weekend, but next one. But yeah, come see me in Roanoke.
Do yourself a favor. Buy this book. Sorry to jump in here.
Yes,
Buy
sir.
it. Do you understand? Get out there and support Mr. Warren. He's one of the best dudes you can hang around with. He's an awesome writer, a great creative. I may actually ask him to help me out with some upcoming stuff on my end called Lone Star and the Chase. So look, pick up this book. What's wrong with you? Go on, Mr. Warren. I had to just jump in.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah. Also, if you say to yourself, that's a lot of money. I don't know if I want to pay all that money. Yeah. I actually have, where's it at? I think it's under the books tab. Yeah. I got an ongoing contest running. I don't advertise it a ton. I should. This is the Infinite Night Challenge. I'm a really big fan of Batman Arkham Knight. A lot of people, I will say the story's not as strong as previous games, but it's by far the best gameplay mechanics in the entire series. And I absolutely love it. And if you want to win, there's a map. There's a map from the community challenge pack. It's called what is it? It's called Endless Night. Basically you got infinite enemies constantly respawning. Every time you knock someone out, you're going to get 1 or 2 more that spawn to replace him. You're eventually going to get guys. I
played it before, done it.
Yeah. But yeah, you're going to get guys dropping mines. You're going to get guys with optic deflection armor, miniguns, all kinds of stuff. My record, well, to get a 3-star record, you need how many? You need 20 knockouts. My standing record is 399. If you can beat that, you win free books and merch for life. And this doesn't just include what I have here with Young Monarchs. This includes everything. Fist of Terraheim, book 1, that's going to be dropping next year. You'll get a free if you beat this standing record right here. You'll get a free copy of that along with all associated merch. Same deal with Heavy Metal Space Quest when that comes out. I have had to postpone the release date for Heavy Metal Space Quest. I found out a whole book series plus a standalone novel is a lot for me to do in the span of 2 years. So, but yeah, you beat the standing record, you win free books and merch for life. Anything I publish, anything I come out with, it goes straight to your doorstep.
You can't beat that deal with a stick, folks.
I could beat
You
him.
can't beat it with a stick.
Yes, sir. Yeah, keep in mind though, you have to beat my standing record. So if I bump this up to 448, you gotta be 448. You know,
Easy.
you can't say, oh, I got 400. I'll be like, no, sir. I outpaced you. So
I'll do
you
it.
gotta
I'll
beat
do
the
it. I can
standing
do it.
record. Yeah, do it, man, do it.
I gotta
Like
buy
said,
Arkham
I
Knight
love the
again
game.
because I sold it last year.
Oh,
I wish I
ladies
knew
and
about this
gentlemen,
earlier.
Ladies and gentlemen, listen, you need to get over there, get over to BS Warren's website, take up this particular challenge, and get this thing done. Get it done, will you? I'm telling you. That is the way to go. Let's see here. Hold on a second. All right. Hang on. Iron. Get the people to subscribe to your channel, will you? Go ahead.
Absolutely. Let me go ahead and share my screen with you here.
Or get them to unsubscribe. Either way.
Well, somebody did unsubscribe during the show. We were at 327 subscribers. We're now back down to 326, but no worries. We got the watch hours. We just need the subs. It's a smaller channel. We only have one show currently once a week, the Weekly Rogues Gallery, every Friday at 5:35 p.m. PST, where we are joined by just a group of friends hanging out, talking about the news of the week and just cracking jokes, having a good time, joined by a special guest each week, as you can see here. In fact, you might see some familiar faces there, but we have a lot of fun on this show. Got a pretty good following, got a great chat, and would love for more people to come and hang out with us as we move forward. And that's about it.
All right, folks. I'm going to actually take on the plug for Tiny. Fellow YouTubers, do you need a good guest? Well, I tell you what, you can't go wrong with Tiny but Fierce. She's lovely. Listen at that giggle. You can't pay for that giggle with money. Folks, if you've got your own YouTube channel and you need somebody who can talk with you on any subject whatsoever, get yourself a bit of Tiny but Fierce. Reach out to her on X and get this girl on your show. She's amazing. We're really glad and honored to have her here. And look for her new channel, which will be coming out very, very soon. Possibly even produced by her cat. I don't know. It sounds nuts, but I'm going with it. So Tiny but Fierce
to be a producer.
Tiny but Fierce she's great. YouTube guest, all around raconteur, iconoclast. She's amazing. Support her on X, follow her on X. She's got a great following. Go over to X right now and follow her there. She's got great takes. She's awesome. And that's that. On with the show. Here we go. Next segment.
Also,
ladies and
Vaughn is here,
gentlemen,
by the way.
God, say it again.
I said sorry. I said also Vaughn is here, by the way.
Vaughn Coleman's
Yeah.
here?
Yeah.
He's in the back. He's sitting in the back.
Yeah, I saw it in
hey.
New Jersey, and my show had just finished up, and I was like, great. So yeah,
Okay.
I'm here.
All right, Vaughn. There you go. Vaughn Coleman. He'll be chiming in.
My show, I haven't been searching for drones, and I'm at the hotbed of it. I don't know what the deal is.
Well, you said that you had actually seen one.
I think so I was, it was after New Year's Eve. And of course I was intoxicated at the time of this particular event. And so I was walking home with a friend of mine, and my friend goes, "Do you see that?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "That's a drone." And it was like hovering, like you saw a light in the sky. And I was like, I guess that's a drone.
Were you sober enough to be
I
aware?
don't have any. Well, I mean, it's not even about me being drunk. It was pitch black out, and I'm like, I mean, that's a light. I guess so.
Okay, well,
so I don't have like an interesting story, which is the most frustrating part. It's probably not a good thing, that there are drones flying around that are unidentified.
Definitely not.
But
I would usually say no.
But it would be cool if I at least saw them, so I could be like, hey, that's pretty messed up. But,
I'm going to catch up with Anthony of Dark Gift at some point and find out whether or not he actually has seen one at this point. But first, let's get into something here that that's a bit vexing. I basically took on, obviously, let's do an obvious fake.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, if we're watching a made for Netflix film, that works. But
I don't even think it works in that context, to be honest.
How dare you, sir?
I was gonna say made for
Sci-Fi
TV,
Channel
Sci-Fi
original.
Yeah, yeah, Sci-Fi
downgraded
Channel
of it.
original.
Oh yeah, sci-fi movies. I remember that.
This
But the sad part
particular
is,
one-
10 years,
no. That was
10
just
years
made
ago,
by
that
some-
took forever to create. Today, you
Yeah.
can do it on 2 minutes on AI.
That particular one, I think, came from a channel that specializes in visual effects,
There you
which
go.
is speaking of which,
He needs to work on it still.
again, looks relatively okay, but still
a little more
fake.
convincing.
Yeah,
That
more than
just
the
looks
other
like
one.
a regular stealth bomber, honestly. Like I want to say that I've seen those sitting in the Air and Space Museum.
Yeah, the more realistic, the worse the video, the more people will buy it. But let's get to the one that I debunked that has I got almost 100,000 views off of this, and it's been thoroughly debunked. People just need to look a little bit closer. This is supposedly there's this thing about these Jersey drones coming out of the ocean.
What? I live by the ocean. Or I'm gonna camp
in
up
there and
there.
check it
I'm gonna
out.
Turn it into
Maybe
a
you should
sniper's
start
nest.
paying more attention, Vaughn.
I would agree. I would agree. Leaving my house.
Supposedly one that came out of the ocean, supposedly.
What?
That's
Where?
very
Where in
clean
New
for
Jersey
being
is
in the
this?
ocean.
Well, the thing, Vaughn, it's completely fake.
Oh, but where is it?
Yeah,
alleged to have
that's
Yeah, it looks way
that's some
too
green
clean to be in the
screen
ocean.
and
Vaughn, how are you supposed to see drones when you're constantly on everybody else's streams
That's
and your
what
own?
that's probably
Yeah.
the problem. Yeah, that's probably part of it. I mean, I leave my house occasionally to do work related stuff. Go to the gym.
You
and
play
that's
video
about-
games as well.
Well, that doesn't require me to leave my house. So that's probably the answer. Is why I
Yeah,
haven't.
you're drawing comic books. You're
Well,
playing video games,
write
and you're
comic books.
streaming.
Yeah, yeah, that'll do it. Yeah.
Ladies and
Go
gentlemen,
outside,
if
Vaughn,
you
please.
look, if you
Well,
look
no,
at
it's
the feet,
factual. That's why I
if
don't
you
leave my
look
house.
at the feet of this individual on the boat, look at his feet. They're not touching the ground. He basically is levitating at
Ooh.
this
Yeah,
point.
Put those
Look
on
where
the
I
internet
put
for
that
free.
circle.
Shit.
If you look at this particular one, you can see it a little bit better.
Yeah.
Looks like he's floating.
Well, you guys
Yeah.
don't just stand against the wall and levitate.
I do.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
the
Yeah.
real
Yeah.
kicker.
Just
I get my
chill.
hobos carrying me.
It's
Yeah.
proof of the drone's powers. The drone is helping him levitate.
This is the
Wait.
final kicker. If you look, the gentleman is actually standing out
That's
the
not-
bulkhead.
Yeah.
Is he Jesus now?
Yeah, wait, maybe the men are the supernatural thing, and we've been misdirected.
Yeah.
There's a lot of these things that are literally just fake, and Iron and I are going to endeavor to point them out when we get them.
No.
That thing,
It brings all of your things together. The whole reason they could do those floaty things is because they're cryptids.
Human cryptid.
are really good at using AI software.
Well,
So
done.
that is again, you have to be careful out there, folks. These things are genuinely they ruin it for the party when you do stuff like that and promote it as what's called when it gets 23 million views on X and other people claiming swearing on Bibles that they've seen the same thing. Folks, be careful. You want the truth? Come here. That's the bottom line. Let's move on to the next segment here with the show. I believe it's going to be roll the dice. Here we go. Wait a minute. Hold on. Am I rolling the dice right? No. Let me roll the
Second
dice
try.
with this. Man, am I getting lucky because I didn't label those. All right, let me show you. Let me get to the nitty gritty of what these drones are. Pretty much 100% what they are. Let me do it right here. Let me do it right now.
This is
right
survival intel for me.
Let me see. Here we go. Why are they so big? This is the reason why they're so big. By the way, this is a defense contractor expo, where they go arms dealer expo. And you
is this SHOT Show?
Beg your pardon?
Like they just had, I think they either just had or they're just about. No, they just had a SHOT Show in Vegas. It's the big.
Oh no! This is for exclusive military types and governments.
Oh, okay.
To buy like lethal weapons and so forth.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, people assume unmanned means tiny, and it just doesn't.
What about unwomaned? That seems really sexist.
Quiet, you. But as you can see, look at these things. They're huge.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Which again,
human in there.
Which again basically negates the whole "it's off the shelf at Walmart" nonsense.
Right.
Are
those like these would even be considered on the small size in a lot of cases?
Yeah.
Are those guns automated, or are they fixed in place so that somebody?
They're supposed to be. They're supposed to be automated, but they just displayed it because they haven't got it all set up yet.
Oh, okay.
But as you can see, these things are about the size of small cars. This is similar to what's flying over New Jersey at the moment. Let me get into this. Look at this one. Folks, this is literally what's flying over Jersey right now. Variations of this device.
It's like a mini Osprey.
Yep. Exactly, Tiny. It literally looks like a mini Osprey. These things are literally the things that are flying over Jersey. Now, some of them, as I said before, you're looking at 95% of the things that are flying over Jersey are variations of this device. Basically, the wings will readjust themselves to this. It's the same
Why they could be misidentified as a small plane, like a lot of people in the chat and on that last video we were watching. I think even the people shooting it were saying it looks kind of like a plane.
Correct. But this is the type of device. This is, of course, built by us, and that's the type. Again, variations. It has a electronic warfare package built into it, jamming devices, manipulate. It might have an air gap device built into it. It might have an EMP built into it. So that is primarily what you're seeing in the skies of Jersey. Let me get into more of this right now. Why Jersey? Why the Eastern Seaboard at first? Check this out from Les Friedman.
One, now you have FLIR images that can give you a sense that it's actually a physical object. What else can be said about those physical objects?
So eventually someone did see one with their own eyeballs.
This is a fighter pilot who, when they do exercises off the coast, the East Coast, these are the guys that actually, he's one of the guys that actually does it. I forget his name.
Multiple people. And they saw it in a somewhat interesting way. The object presented itself at the exact altitude and geographic location of the entry points into our working areas. So we enter at a very specific point at a certain altitude, and people leave the areas at the same point at a lower altitude. Probably one of the busiest pieces of sky on the Eastern Seaboard. So 2 jets from my squadron went out and they went flying and they entered the area, and one of these objects went right between the aircraft.
So they're flying in formation and the object went between the aircraft.
They went between the object, I think. I don't think that the object was moving. I don't think it aggressively went at them. I think it was located still there and then they flew through it. But they didn't have it on their radar. And that would, I think the radar might have been malfunctioning. I don't know that for sure. I would like to look into it, but my supposition is that if their radar was malfunctioning, it would make sense that they wouldn't avoid the object that was there because they knew these were physical at that point. And we would go up to these objects all the time and try to see them. We couldn't see them. and we didn't know what it was. Was it that were they just not there and were being fooled? Was something happening? Were they moving, dropping altitude the last minute? We're going by pretty quick, so it's difficult to tell. But perhaps if his radar wasn't working, it wasn't receiving energy from the jet, and the jet, of course, didn't know that it was there. And so, whatever the case was, they flew right by, and they described it just as a dark gray or black cube inside a clear, translucent sphere, and the apexes of the cube were touching the inside of that sphere.
Radar step one.
Folks, that is the legend of the beach ball, codenamed beach ball. Essentially, these pilots that have been running exercises from Maine all the way down to the Carolinas have been seeing these objects right here. As you can see, it's a cube inside of a translucent sphere. That's what they've been seeing off the coast. And they have been seeing hundreds of these things. What's off the coast? What's just down the way on the eastern seaboard? New Jersey. That has been going on for about 4 years. That is an experienced Navy pilot, a captain, I believe.
Well, also, when he talks about that they see something and they go up to try to catch it and they can't find it, they can't see it, and that it could possibly be dropping with altitude, that reminds me a lot of the TikTok, not TikTok, Tic-Tac.
Absolutely. That's exactly where I'm going with this. Exactly where I'm going with this. Instead of a tic-tac shaped object, you're dealing with a round object with a black cube inside of it. These things have been spotted all along the eastern seaboard multiple times, multiple places. Ladies and gentlemen,
with no discernible energy source. That's one. There's no heat.
Exhaust,
there's there's
nothing.
nothing we can measure that shows us anything happening with these things.
Beyond our understanding.
The very definition of anti-gravity. Very definition of anti-gravity. What I believe is those particular ones, they're built by somebody else other than us. We have this particular technology, which has been spotted on several videos and even a television show, Skinwalker Ranch. These things have plagued Skinwalker Ranch for the last 2 years. A similar device shaped like this. Let me see if I can get to the video where they actually go into the evolution of what that is. Here it is. In other words, I believe the beach balls and what you just saw are the result of this advancement to this particular device.
November 10th, 2014. Rick Ibarra arrived at his San Diego, California home and made an intriguing discovery. He spotted an unusual spherical object in the sky, distinguished by its reflection of the sunset's orange hue against a completely clear backdrop. Initially, he considered the possibility of a balloon or a helicopter, but he quickly realized that it lacked any visible rotors. Instead, he noticed rods or antennae protruding from the sphere. Seeking a clearer view, Rick moved to his backyard, estimating that the sphere hovered no more than a mile above ground. After observing the anomaly for around 5 minutes, he retrieved his camera and set it up on a tripod to document the spectacle. Capturing video footage, he documented the sighting for approximately 20 minutes and witnessed some wavering in the object's movement, likely influenced by the shifting air currents. Occasionally, the orb would momentarily disappear behind a large tree, only to emerge again on the other side. Eventually, the object's motion slowed, and it began drifting southwest. As the evening darkened, Rick lost sight of the mysterious sphere.
I believe in one of the videos you can actually see a helicopter go by.
Rick Ibarra arrived at his San Diego.
Let's see. In the expanded video, which I will get for another show, there's actually a helicopter that goes by that object, an actual helicopter. Folks, that is not built by little green men. That is built by us.
The ball? Are we sure?
Vaughn, based upon my research, the United States has had anti-gravity technology since 1953.
I actually have a bit that I can speak to about the I'm going to use the word that I found out. You guys probably saw the clip from Sean Ryan already about the gravitic propulsion systems from
Correct.
the
I have. Yes, I have.
from the manifesto. That's absolutely what I think is operating here. And then who else? Alex Jones also had a theory about it, which I'm liable to believe regarding the drones. But yeah, I think it's absolutely. I think that band has something. That band you see on the side of it, I think that absolutely has something to do with the propulsion system. And then I think the antennas sticking out of it are how it communicates.
Yeah, absolutely. Mr. Warren hit that right on the head. He's got that. That's exactly what that is. It is a anti-gravity device, just like this one. But it's the evolution. This was done in 2014. This was done in 2023. All they've done is adjust the design and remove the antennas, and it's the same device built by the same people. I'm telling
i.e. us.
I.e. us.
Yep.
That is not the same thing as this.
No.
This is completely
Humans cannot do
different.
that yet.
Yeah.
Even if we have anti-gravity technology, I can't imagine anything we could do that would be like quite like that.
At least not yet.
Allegedly, there are only, according to the manifesto left by the Cybertruck bomber, there are only 2 countries in the world that have that have cracked anti-grav technology, and it's us and China.
Wait, hang on.
Yep.
I must have missed this. I thought it was there was a manifesto that was about anti-gravity.
Yeah, the guy that blew himself up in Las
in front
Vegas.
of Trump Tower in Vegas in a Cybertruck.
Yeah,
I
remember now.
I have the email right here.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, you said do research for the show, so I was like, okay, I gotta Google things.
Yeah, Warren, you were there.
Them. If I was there, I wouldn't be here. But yeah,
you survived.
Where is it at?
But while you're finding that,
no, I have it. I have it right here. I already have my screen up. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Oh, hang on. Let me get to that. Oh, Mr. Warren. There we go.
Yeah. But yeah, this piece right here, what we're seeing with drones is the operational use of gravitic propulsion systems powered by aircraft by most recently China in the East Coast, but throughout history, the U.S. Only we in China have this capability. Our ops and location for this activity in the boxes below. And so this line right here, China has been launching them from the Atlantic from submarines for years, but this activity has recently picked up. It's funny. You actually mentioned that allegedly they are launching these from a submarine. 3 days ago, this article came out from a Republican congressman saying that there's a UFO moving hundreds of miles underwater.
Right.
Yeah. As large as a football field. Not small enough. Well, I mean, obviously it's not, they're the size of a small car, but obviously those floating cubes, they're not, they're small enough to fit in the gap between 2 fighter jets flying in formation. Right. But yeah, moving hundreds of miles an hour underwater, large as a football field. I think that's 100% some kind of drone aircraft carrier that is surfacing to launch these.
I do. Well, Mr. Warren, I disagree with you on a rare occasion. I do not believe that anybody has the technology, any person has the technology to build something like that can move underneath the water. I believe that's something else. I believe you 100% that these smaller drones that you're mentioning, yes, they could be Chinese, and they could be being launched from conventional subs. The Chinese have a problem getting their subs a few hundred kilometers away from China. They're not known for their sub technology. Now, that doesn't mean they couldn't have improved it, but they are, I'm not real sure they have the capabilities to launch something that could get all the way to California, or definitely not to get all the way to, the Potomac. I believe that whatever that thing is the size of a football field, moving I've heard about USOs that are that big. Hell, I've heard about one that apparently is the size of Manhattan that was moving at over 60 knots that passed by 2 fast attack subs, and they have no idea what it was. I don't believe the Chinese are capable anywhere near capable of building
definitely not.
anything like that.
Also, just the Chinese military has just recently, just within the last year, proven itself to have been completely corrupt. They can't even open the freaking bays on most of their silos. They can't use their own nuclear weapons. What the hell are they likely going to be doing with gravimetric devices? It doesn't make sense to me.
I believe that they do have some technology that has outgunned us. I really do. But
that artificial sun they've got is one thing.
Just their capability to actually utilize it.
That's another.
Yeah. Having the knowledge doesn't mean you can use it.
Yeah, maybe if they make it out of styrofoam, because that's what they make all their buildings out of.
Yeah,
styrofoam and drywall.
But I do want to say one thing real quick. If I wanted to be on this planet and be inconspicuous, I'd go in the water. We know more about the dark side of the moon than we do about our oceans.
Lovely Tiny brings up a thing we will get into in a moment once we cover this subject.
We're talking about oceans.
We're going to talk about where these things actually are being built and where they're coming from. But first, let me get into this as we wrap up what's truly going on in Jersey. Here we go with this particular report.
Hi, Elizabeth. Well, I got to be honest here. You know, when this story first came out a few weeks ago, as a resident of New Jersey, as a journalist, I didn't pay it much credence. I thought it would turn out to be a bunch of pranksters and this would all be over by now. The experience I had last night, however, changed the way I feel about this story completely. What I saw was more sophisticated than I ever imagined. Take a look.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 5 lights, 6 lights.
I didn't believe what I was seeing. But what was I seeing? We're here in central Jersey. We've been looking for the past hour. I think we've seen about 40 or 50 of these drones. In fact, there's one over my shoulder right there.
40 or 50.
One after another, these drones appeared in the night sky. If you look real close, they look like fixed-wing aircraft, about 8 to 10 feet wide, colorful, white blinking lights.
That is not a plane.
Definitely not an airplane, but what was it? Hours earlier, I was invited to join the Ocean County Sheriff Department. They launched their own drones to see if they could intercept the mysterious aircraft New Jersey residents have been reporting in recent weeks. The department says these mystery drones evade detection because they don't give off heat like regular drones.
Why do you think that is?
We don't know. It's just something that we haven't, it's not something that we've had our hands on. It's not something that we've experienced.
That's interesting. The fact that they do not have a heat signature. Basically, one of the only ways to manipulate that or to hide that is through gravimetric control. In other words, you're putting up a magnetic field that's distorting anything inside the field as is observed outside the field.
Something they hadn't experienced until now. One of their officers called 911 after seeing 50 of them come off the ocean.
Advised after we made contact with that officer that there were 50 that came off the ocean.
50?
50. That was my reaction also. There were 50 that were coming off the ocean.
And this is a sworn officer?
A sworn officer, yes. We contacted state police, we contacted the FBI, we contacted the Coast Guard, at which point the Coast Guard went out with their boat and they reported seeing 13 following their boat, and then the Coast Guard also advised that they went over them about 300 feet and had a wingspan of about 8 feet.
I see one right here. Did I see the same thing that officer saw? I'm still not sure. What I can show you is this video. What I can tell you is I've never seen anything like it before. Wow. And
again, ladies and gentlemen, that is essentially us messing around to see what kind of security we can deal with, see if we can be tracked, see if we can be shot down, seeing we're using the American people as guinea pigs. I do not believe for 1 second that anything that guy is talking about in that report has anything to do with extraterrestrials. And frankly, I blame Von Coleman. He should be outside He should be outside observing these things and reporting back to me as to what he's seen.
Stop writing a book.
Why wasn't Vaughn involved in that report?
You're right. I should stop marketing I stopped running my company. I'm sorry. I really, sorry, backers. I'm gonna say
hiring people to vehicularly assault your competitors. I mean, there's so many things wrong here, Vaughn.
Yeah, you have time to break people's cars, but not time to look in the sky.
Yeah.
Vaughn, you know what?
Bat sauce.
What do we
No,
think
I agree. Justice for bat sauce. You know what I mean? You got justice. All right.
What do we think of that, folks? What do we think of what was said there?
Recent, like just now, or are we talking
on
about
the
what was said
report?
in the video? Oh, of course.
Yeah,
It's
in the
the
video.
important stuff. Yeah, because the other part was blasphemy, pure blasphemy. Now, as for that, I mean, I still think it's very concerning that it's like, yeah, there's these things overhead. We don't have an answer. Okay.
That's the part I hate. That's the part I hate. Tiny, chime in. Oh, is Tiny there? Tiny there? You there? She might be off. Iron, pick it up.
Just to piggyback off what Vaughn said, it's the same response we always can get and expect from the government. It's, we don't know what it is, but we're sure it's not a threat, or we're sure it's not this. We can tell you what it's not, when in reality they know exactly what it is. This is all intentional. It's all part of, kind of like what you said, Mac. It's more of a test run, kind of. They're doing field tests on responses, the public's response to seeing this, and it's all just kind of them documenting and just seeing what they can inform us of and what our reaction is going to be.
100% on the money. Mr. Warren, are you there? What do you think?
Yes, sir. I think 100, like I said, 100%. I think gravitic propulsion systems. I think that's what those are. I think they're drones working off of those. I think I will say, to that guy's credit, I don't think he has any ideas what they are. And I mainly say that because I saw he's wearing a sheriff's department hat. So he's probably like, dude, we got no idea what the hell these are. He's local.
You were right
mean,
the first time.
Yeah, no, because I think I think the feds, they know exactly what it is.
They know exactly.
They're trying to gaslight. I mean, I could tell you what it's not too. I could tell you it's not. It's not flying heads of broccoli, but I mean that's obviously not much help. So, but yeah, I think like local law enforcement, no. I don't think they have any idea what it is.
That far down, because then I think one of the main things of the conspiracy theory is, if too many people have to be turning a blind eye to it, too many, then it starts to become not believable. Like, if everyone in the world is in on it, then it's probably not a conspiracy theory, But if it's like, I could buy a small town sheriff being like, yeah, I don't know what's going on, dude. Like, this is
Tiny, what do you think?
Well, I would agree with what Iron said, and to some degree what Warren was continuing on was that, yeah, I think this was a test. I think this was proof that someone finally got the stuff out of DARPA's hands and put it in the hands of somebody to test it and use it to see what's going on and see how we as a society react to that type of thing.
I am in complete agreement with all of you. Next segment. Folks, this is happening all over the planet. Examples. This happened literally last week in Norway.
Drone footage was recorded by Christian on May 3rd in Norway.
Oh, no, excuse me.
He managed to capture a rapidly moving object on the right side of the screen. The acceleration of the craft is astounding. It seems to go from 0 to several hundred miles per hour within seconds. The lights take off simultaneously, so they may be part of the same craft. Airplanes don't accelerate from a standstill in the sky like this.
No, they don't. there is one that actually there is a piece of footage from Norway that happened just last week. Was multiple drones literally just off the city center. It's amazing piece, and I'm an idiot for not having it here. So what do we think of that, ladies and gentlemen?
That's crazy. I've been the first one to speak up, so somebody please cut me off. But I'll just leave with saying that's bad shit.
Yeah, I've watched that a couple times. It doesn't strike me as fake either.
Nope, because it appeared apparently during that particular time. It appeared on actual Norway national television, their version of the nightly news. This damn sure ain't no balloon or an airplane.
Yeah, I just rewatched it on the playback.
This, of course, occurred over Guadalajara in 2022. Something we haven't gotten into on this program, but we will on a future program, which I hope you all will participate in. Some of these things look to be biologic. They look like they're actually alive.
Yeah, it does look like it's alive, definitely.
I want to say it looks like what I would imagine a prototype of that cube in the sphere to be.
I can see that.
Mr. Warren, I don't think this is us. I don't think we built this.
It looked like it was exploding at first.
I mean, maybe
or undulating. Yeah,
maybe it's us, but I don't think we would or could build anything like that.
This is under the sea?
Huh? Go ahead.
This is under the sea?
No, that is in the air over a place called Guadalajara.
That is.
Wait, that's not in Norway. That's in Mexico, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That is. Yeah, I don't.
It looks almost like it's exploding
or changing shape.
Yeah, something.
It's something that ain't. We didn't build that.
I'm in agreement with that. We didn't build this.
And to wrap this segment,
did it ever hit the ground?
Huh?
Did that act?
No, that's just floating. That's floating.
It just stayed floating and eventually went away. It never hit the ground or anything.
Never went to the ground. Put it in place for about 20 minutes and then took off. Basically, let's have a look at this last bit of footage right here.
Es como que a veces se ve mal, es como que van de un lado para el otro, boludo.
Amigo, están muy cerca, son ovnis
Están muy cerca, claro.
Ovni asegurado.
¿Por qué? Van a 2 por hora, boludo, se están filmando,
Quedo por grabar rapidísimo, amigo.
I think this is Argentina. And as you can see, we're literally dealing with a fleet of these goddamn things. A fleet of them.
Wow.
How many are there?
I could stop counting at like 20.
Damn.
You think it's possible that some of them are from us, and then, or at least some of the ones in Jersey,
Actually,
some of them are from us, some of them are from China.
That is 100% what I think.
Yeah.
I think that some of them are not built by us, and I think that some of them are built by us, and the ones that are built by us are trying to observe them, analyze them, scan them, figure out what they are, so that again they can attempt to backwards engineer the technology.
Do you think that they might be in a standoff with each other? Like ours might be in a standoff with theirs.
They might be just watching each other, frankly.
Mr. Warren, I based upon the information that I've done on this subject over the last 8 months, there are potentially several species that are visiting this planet. The ones that interact with us the most are possibly minimum 1,000 to 10,000 years ahead of us in technology and knowledge. They don't like us. They don't care about. They basically think about it like this. There are literally, you have a cattle rancher who basically hates his cows. They're the ones that interact with us the most. The ones that I'm going to get into why I believe this.
They hate us though.
They don't necessarily hate us. They just don't really give a shit about us. There are several species that come here that are fascinated with us. They look at us more like, for example, when we tag a wolf in the wild, they look at us like that. When we tag a dolphin, they look at us like that. They don't hate us. They actually appreciate us. The same way Tiny appreciates her cat. That's kind of the way they look at us. There's several species
to them, we are a lesser life form. Therefore, we are interesting or cute, but not actually.
Yeah, we're so adorable.
Not in no way a threat. In no way a threat. But the ones that actually interact with us on a moment-to-moment basis, again, they don't hate us. They just look at us as cows that
lesser
behave
beings, pretty
badly, basically.
I think you already described as a zoo before too. And
Yes,
that's pretty
basically,
accurate.
ladies and gentlemen, I'll get into this because we're going to wrap it up here in about 10, 20 minutes. We live in a zoo. Basically, this planet, our species, you are born into a zoo. You will die into a zoo. Your ancestors were born into the zoo. They died into a zoo. This is a zoo. We are being observed and managed by other things.
Do you think managed?
Yes,
Like,
we are.
At what level?
Essentially, we are not allowed to do too much damage to this planet, i.e., every time there's a nuke or nuclear energy or anything involving nuclear power, you see these UFOs show up every single time.
That's interesting. That because
that makes a lot of sense.
Because I always knew they were interested in nuclear stuff, but that reasoning is very interesting.
We are essentially a guided experiment.
Well, you know about the. I'm sorry not to cut you off, but you
Go
know
ahead.
about the aerial school phenomenon, correct?
Yes, I do.
Assuming, well, I mean, that would check out with that they showed children images of us destroying our planet.
Essentially, these are warnings.
Okay, I don't know what the aerial school thing is.
The
Sorry.
aerial school phenomenon is one of the most. I am shocked that it's not more well known. As with the directors of Phenomenon. In fact, I'll see if they did a full documentary on it. I think they might have. The aerial school phenomenon was basically in Zimbabwe. There was a school, and in that area there had been UFO sightings, I believe, for a couple days prior.
Yes.
Only for there to be a bunch of children. I think it was around 50, or was it 100? How many was it? It was a lot.
About 50 kids. About 50 kids.
Outside playing. And they came back suddenly hysterical, talking about things that they saw. They claimed, and they took all the kids separately and asked them to draw what they saw.
Hearing about this.
So they all reported that they had 3 little gray men land out of a flying saucer, come out, and they were basically telepathically projected images telling them about the environment and how humans are destroying it. And these were children that would have no reason to care about that. Or lie about it. They brought in a mass hysteria expert from the UK to analyze the situation, and he confirmed that it was not, in fact, mass hysteria. You could find the footage, like pictures of that the kids drew, and they're all very similar to each other. Again,
they're almost identical.
Like they saw the same thing.
Yeah. No, I do actually vaguely remember hearing something about this, but
all right. Can I pull it up?
Go ahead.
Share my screen. Okay.
Go ahead.
So we got. Here are some of the images that were drawn by the children.
Let me know when you're ready, Vaughn.
Oh, I'm ready.
Where is it? There it is.
So there we go. You can see some of the pictures that the kids drew. Here's another. And then they had a documentary. I don't know, but they had a documentary where they brought the kids back after years. In fact, could I play the video?
Oh, go ahead.
All right, hold on. I don't know why my. Yes.
Attention retirees.
All right, hold on.
If you're willing from 9 a.m. to 10:45
I'm not retiring anytime soon.
And we were playing down over there on the log.
Yeah.
And then we saw something shiny, so we all ran down over there.
And it was in the early morning?
It was at break time.
Yeah.
And then we saw something shiny. And we saw two people. They were in tight black suit. And they had big eyes. And we didn't actually see their nose. It was quite small. And their mouth was quite small as well. One of them was running in slow motion up across the ship. And the other one was standing beside the ship.
Yeah, you made a drawing, huh? It looked like this?
No, yeah, something like that. I couldn't see the eyes or the nose or the mouth. It was just blank, like a piece of paper.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when they came, I thought they were crazy.
Was this the first thing you saw?
I thought they were crazy just coming to our school doing nothing. And all I saw was something like silver coming down. And I said, what must that be? And everybody's crowding it. I must go crowd too. And then I went and I started crowding and everybody, then more people came and more. And then I said, hey, I can't see anymore. Come on.
By the way, they interviewed these kids 20 years later, and the story stays exactly the same.
And a lot of the kids were successful. Some of them were lawyers. They were all.
So they're not crazy.
So they had no reason, and some of them even said that they would be like afraid to tell people in their personal lives because they didn't want because people
They don't want to be treated like they're crazy.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, so that's a very interesting one, which I believe, by the way. But let's switch gears here very quickly. Where are these things coming from, and who's building them? Iron and I, and hopefully you guys will join us, are going to get into the whistleblower from Reddit who says that these things are built in a factory that moves under the water.
Ooh.
This is a Google picture of a gigantic circular object off the coast of Cyprus, off the coast of between Greece and Cyprus, basically. This device, the Reddit whistleblower claims that this is what they call a factory.
Wow.
It's basically shaped like a giant hamburger. It looks like a giant hamburger from the side. This thing basically builds the drones, the ships. It actually manufactures the occupants, the grays. It builds them like kits, and it sends them to certain areas to observe certain things.
So they're what, like androids?
They're biological drones.
Oh,
they're
okay.
pre-programmed. They have their own free will, but they're pre-programmed to do certain tasks.
Yeah,
and
synthezoids.
Basically, but the thing is, we're going to get into that into another show. This one is off the coast of Catalina. Catalina is known for UFOs appearing and disappearing in the water. That is a huge open hole right off the coast of Catalina.
And that's crazy because all of that is, you can't quite tell from this picture, but all of that is super deep.
Super deep, like 300.
The reason why the Atlantic is not so cold, and then we get the Gulf Stream and everything, but the Pacific is fucking freezing. And it's freezing because you go right just barely off coast and you go deep, deep, deep into dark, cold waters.
It could be anywhere from 500 to over 1,000 feet down.
Yep.
So this thing, supposedly, it makes these devices for various missions, and it sends those devices out. It gathers the information. From what I understand from the whistleblower, it might actually cull the herd. So in other words, if a deadly pathogen or disease develops in a human being, it will send one of these drones out, find that particular individual, and either fix it or eliminate them.
Neutralize it, yeah.
Ooh. So wait, you think that these are made by humans and they are in here? In the ocean?
No. These are made by what we would consider, according to the whistleblower, grays, small grays. They are here to manage the animals and control the zoo. That's the only reason they're here. They're not here for resources, because think about it. If you're an advanced species, you can get gold out of the asteroids. There's more gold and platinum in the asteroid belt.
There are planets that rain diamonds.
Yeah, exactly. There's literally a planet that not only rains diamond, but is mostly diamonds. It's mostly made. It's a huge diamond.
Gotta go there.
But you can.
Rainbow Bright was right.
These particular creatures can get every resource they need from other places. There's only one resource or commodity that they come to here that they can't get anyplace else, and that's us. We are irreplaceable. Unique. We're unique in the universe in some aspects, which Iron and I will get into later on. So to wrap this up, let's go ahead and get into the wrap up here. Hang on a second. Talk amongst yourselves as we get into the
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Master Hobo.
How you guys doing?
Not to wrap up. This is okay. I'm surprised that was my only mistake of the night. All right.
Doing good so far.
Iron, we're going to close with these particular points. If you could read these for me, that would be really great. Here we go with the first.
Oh, sure. The UAP phenomenon is steering toward a staged alien invasion designed to unify the globe under a single planetary government. UFOs and aliens will be used to install fear, pressuring the population to surrender financial resources for a fabricated defense.
Basically, this whole thing is to create a unified global governance. They haven't been able, human beings have not been able to do it with religion. They've not been able to do it with political ideology. They've not been able to do it for 16 million years of existence. So they are moving to the last phase to try and achieve it. And that is a fake alien invasion. Moving on, Iron, if you would.
Someone was
Before Trump leaves office.
Watchmen.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely some similarities.
Yeah. Again, it makes sense, though.
Before Trump leaves office, a major daytime UFO event will occur in the U.S., witnessed by thousands and shared globally. The government will claim ignorance, demand funding, of course, and push for defense measures, marking the start of a false flag to establish planetary authoritarian. God, I can't talk today. Authoritarian government. Planetary authoritarian government. There we go.
Absolutely. That is the point of all this. It will happen before Trump leaves office. It will be in the middle of the country. It will not happen in LA. It will not happen in Los Angeles. It'll happen in a city like Kansas City, or it'll happen in Vegas, or it'll happen in Oklahoma City. It'll happen in Detroit. It's not going to happen in New York City or Los Angeles. It will be a middle of the country. It will be undeniable. In other words, there's no way they're going to be able to say it's swamp gas or it's a reflection or whatever. It will be recorded by hundreds of thousands of people. It will be all over social media, and the government will take 2 or 3 weeks, and they will literally come out and say, we have no idea what it is.
And my guess is similar to how something else happened perfectly timed toward the end of Trump's first term leading into election season. That would be about the time frame I would guess that this would happen, so that they can say, well, this one side wants for this one thing. We're the only ones that can save you.
Exactly. So,
which is how cults have operated through all of history. You find out that there was a problem in the world. We are the only solution. You have to follow us and do as we say. So, I mean, checks out.
We'll save you and all that stuff.
Yeah.
All of us will have to come out of our pockets for the collective defense of Earth against the mean old aliens. We will be taxed for global defense. We will be told that we can't speak about certain things online. There will be rights taken away. This will happen. As sure as the sun comes up and death and taxes, this is going to happen.
Well, this plan may happen and it may be implemented, but one of the things that I find really interesting about all the people trying to destroy the free will in the Western, most of them come from Western civilization and don't understand other people in the world. They're not going to get their global government. There are places all over this world that are not going to give two shits even if the aliens are invading, and they are not going to join up to be part of a global government.
I agree, Tiny, and there will be resistance from it. Absolutely. But these people are going to do something they've never done in all of human history. They're serious about bringing this entire planet in line. This time they will pull out all the stops. They will kill as many people as they have to. They will destroy as many lives as they have to, but there will be resistance. And ultimately, I don't know how, but I agree with Tiny, they won't win. I don't know how. I really don't, but they sure as hell are going to try, and about a third of the people on this planet are probably going to die behind it.
You think that'll happen this soon?
I think they will set it up to begin to happen this soon. Yes, Vaughn. They are going to get this planet in line.
Wait, who's they? The aliens are going to do this, or the government?
Oh,
I don't think. Listen, the quote unquote aliens or whatever don't care.
I know. So you think it's the government?
This experiment
using aliens.
Shadow government specifically, I would say.
There we go. There you go, BS1.
Shadow government / deep state.
Every civilization in the universe goes through a test. Every single one. They went through it and survived it. These things, these aliens, as we call them, they went through a test and they survived it. Their civilization survived all the bullshit that we're going through. Everybody starts off pretty much the same way, except for things that are based upon bugs or cephalopods
or fungus.
But every humanoids that go through a civilizational change, they start off like us.
We're all similar in a way.
We're being tested. And when we fail, they clean out the petri dish and start over. We are at the point where we're either going to pass or fail. That's what's happening right now. The zookeepers are not going to interfere with our destruction. It's on us to either resist this, stop it before it gets started, or whatever. Last one. Let's see here.
Well, there are reasons you're not allowed to join the Federation unless your planet is united.
Exactly. Unless you're mature enough, unless you're smart enough. They don't want human beings in our current stage polluting their club, in my opinion.
Yep.
So here we go. Iron.
Thank you. The United States, Russia, China, and other G12 nations are racing to acquire and reverse engineer non-human technology for financial and defense advantages.
Absolutely. Last thing we're going to say on this particular subject, the Chinese apparently have engineered a energy device that you can set it to extract certain minerals out of rock. For example, if you're trying to extract gold, it will destroy the rock around it and just leave you with the gold. Now, the device keeps failing. It keeps blowing up in their face. It doesn't work very well. They can only use it for a very limited amount of time. But those in the know in the United States and Russia are extremely pissed about it. They do not want the Chinese to have that type of technology. The Chinese are developing handheld lasers that fucking work, really work. Not like Star Wars type lasers, but the type that create high heat points extremely quickly. In other words, they
like
can
Real
use
Genius.
that can actually cut down trees or melt through metal. Used to be you had to leave the laser there for a few minutes before it got hot enough. The Chinese have developed lasers that they can point, and within seconds they can burn through a particular object.
Directed energy weapons, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
That is correct. The whistleblower said, look out for laser technology and the advancements of it. We need to get on that. We need to get on hypersonic missile technology. We need to get on automated robot subs. These idiots up in Congress that want to build more aircraft carriers, they're fucking morons. We need drones. We need drone subs, drone soldiers, drone airplanes. That's the future. No more multi-billion-dollar aircraft carriers. They're just sitting targets. Hopefully we'll get that message and handle it. Stop trying to get money for your district, morons, and think about the defense of the nation. Anyway, that brings us to the end of the show, folks. This has been amazing. This turned out 10 billion times better than I thought it would. Maybe a couple mistakes. Fantastic. In closing, let's go around the horn. What is your final analysis, Tiny, on this particular subject matter, Jersey drones?
Well, we went over so much more than just Jersey drones.
Yes.
But I would say I agree that the drones in Jersey are almost definitely come from our government. As I started the show, DARPA's dangerous. I'm glad
very much so.
I'm glad we have them and not other people, but still really, really, really scary people. I think that what was in Arizona was definitely different. I don't know much about grays or any of the other species that some people have evidence that they believe that we're interacting with. I know nothing about that, so I have no comment except for the fact that kind of makes some sense. If they treat us like just cattle that they don't really want to deal with.
Cattle they don't like.
Yeah. And I think there may very well be a turning point for human civilization right around the corner, but I'm not 100% sure that it's going to be through a global uniting globalization, but it easily could be. And unfortunately, I'll be just sitting here watching to whatever actually does happen.
All right. Hobo, your thoughts?
Well, it's just, to me, it's just the standard humanity's messing with stuff. They probably really shouldn't. And of course, the aliens don't really care as long as not all of us are dead. So that's pretty much.
I don't think they want to. I don't think the zookeepers want to kill all of us, or else they would. Believe me, they have the capability to do so. They could have done it thousands of years ago. I don't think they want us dead. I think they want the experiment to march on, see how we evolve, see what we become, but they are not going to intervene if we decide to kill ourselves. That's my thing. There are other species that might, but they absolutely won't. They don't give a shit. Cows is a bad analogy. They really care almost nothing for us, other than they don't want the planet damaged and they don't want us all dead. Vaughn, your final thoughts?
Yeah, so I came in late for a lot of the New Jersey stuff, but I would say, hopefully my home state is okay. I should, in reality, I don't know, drone hunting. I don't know what that would entail. I guess just driving in circles, looking at the sky.
Literally, just go outside and do this.
I do that, and it's not there.
You're not trying hard enough.
You got to wait more than 5 minutes.
Pop your eyeballs out.
Yeah. All right. So my next backer update will be, sorry guys, I was drone watching. The book is on hiatus.
Tell us a little bit about your comic book, Vaughn. As you go, let's do a quick plug.
Well, I will say, I do think it's the government. At first, I was like, oh, it would be cooler if it was aliens, but life doesn't work that way.
Vaughn, it's 3% aliens. It's 3% it's 97% the government.
Well, as long as there's some percent of aliens, I could live with that. I mean, I'd rather they not be here at all, to be honest, watching me. But I mean,
plug your book, boy.
Yeah,
I was doing the subject. All right, so my comic Phenomenova Issue 2, Down to the Core, is crowdfunding now. It's on Fund My Comic and currently Indiegogo. It's also prepping to launch on Kickstarter. Let me go ahead and I'll pull up the Fund My Comic campaign. But no, if you prefer Indiegogo, which seems like a lot of people don't these days, it is
people
on
turned against it. Go ahead.
Well, it turned against its creators, to be fair. They shot up in a lot of the creators. But Phenomenova, again, you could find it on Indiegogo as well, and it's also on Kickstarter. The link to it you can find if you go to rebeloasisstudios.com. You can find all the links and back at the campaign of your choice. We are 146 backers, 148 if you include Indiegogo. Phenomenova issue 2, Down to the Core, follows the idealistic son of a war hero, Miles Hanksley, after the events of issue 1, where he failed to strike out on his own as a superhero, and now he is being mentored by one of the veterans who fought during World War III. So right now we're seeing some new characters. We're seeing Estrella, who is the first member of the title team Phenomenova that we are being introduced to. She is she's deaf and blind, but could see the world through psychometry, which means she could absorb the world and the information and memories of it in real time around her, making her one of the greatest detectives to ever walk the earth. We also have Hotline, who is the tech support character, and all backers will get the Hotline trading card pictured right here. And if we hit 10K, everyone will get the Phoenix Senshi trading card seen right here. So make sure you guys do that. Make sure you guys back. We also have limited edition variants right here. All the reason to get. And if you prefer digital, we have digital options too. And you can link off. You could read it, the issue 1 digitally already. All kinds of options. So what are you waiting for? It's fully lettered. So you're going to use
Ron Coleman. He actually delivers books. That's actually on the T-shirt, and it should be his slogan. He doesn't sit around for 7 hours and bitch about people. He actually gets his books done.
Here's proof.
No drone tracking for him.
And they look great.
Yes, I was just at con this weekend, selling off some stuff. So I'm hitting the con scene as hard as I can. There's fingers crossed. I may be able to make my way to MegaCon. We'll see. But there you go. All these variants are no longer available except for at conventions, and all variants will be hiked up in price and very limited. So if issue 2, if you made that mistake with issue 1, you don't make that mistake with issue 2. It's a cheaper book. It's like a shorter book. You can get it right now with whatever cover you want. It's $10 for the book.
Support this guy. He's absolutely awesome. He is. I'm so glad he made it. Vaughn, I will back you until hell freezes over twice.
Even if you wreck your car?
These allegations will not stand. These false allegations that I wreck customers' cars. Now, I would never do that. In fact, statistically, it's shown that most
does not agree.
Yeah, well, it's statistically shown that most people who back my books don't get their cars broken.
I don't have a car destroyed, Vaughn. I'm a hobo.
So I mean, you could listen to the vocal minority, Bat Sauce, or you could listen to everyone else. Iron, was your car destroyed?
Bat Sauce is a villain on the level of Megatron.
I agree.
Dr. Killer, Doctor of Evil, and the Loch Ness Monster. Mr. Warren,
evil. Yeah, I was gonna say Nessie. Let's not bring Nessie into this. She's nowhere near as vile as Bat Sauce.
He's dead. Mr. Warren, if you would give a quick plug for your stuff, if you would, please.
Yeah. So once again, Young Monarchs, Last Worthy Kingdoms. Epic adult high fantasy novel about 8 rural heirs who band together to save their world from all-out war following an insane week-long bender on mushrooms. It is available now. You get tons of royal intrigue, absolutely awe-inspiring adventure. Got lots of large-scale clashes between good and evil out on the open battlefield. Explosive young romance. Vice, murder, betrayal. I get off the walls with it, and you got an extraordinary cast of main characters, including Prince Anubis of the Underworld, Bjorn Heavyhorn of the Beast Tribes, Dragon Princess Kara of the Burning Empire, and a whole bunch more. So you're guaranteed to love it. You can head over to my landing page at bswarren.card.co. Click on that books tab. You can snag yourself a paperback, or you can snag yourself a digital edition. But yeah, you're going to want to jump in on this. And next year, I've got the first book in the Fist of Terrorheim series dropping, which is a savage new saga, drenched in blood and glory, carved in the wake of a falling star. It's about a young barbarian hunter named Lucas who is called upon to save his frigid, cruel homeland from the conquest of a vengeful immortal. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, as soon as this broadcast is over, get on over to BS Warren's website immediately and pick up that book. Support both these creators, Von Coleman and BS Warren, with all of your heart. And now, my brother from another mother, Iron Oxide, after you're done buying those books, get on over there and support Iron Oxide's channel. So old Mr. Berger can save a little bit of money on marketing. I got the amount of money I'm spending to promote Iron's channel and my channel next month will make your eyes pop out. All right, Iron, tell him a little bit of save us some money. Will you pitch it?
Absolutely. But first, I never get tired of hearing about that synopsis following a week-long bender of mushrooms. That just always brings so much joy to my heart.
I've had people actually like come up to me at cons. I give them that. Like I hit them with that first hook and then they're like, all right, I'm in. And I'm like, wait, really? I don't have to mention like the characters or anything. They're like, nah, hook me up. So
it's based on a true story, the mushroom part.
You write what you know.
How many streams is Mr. Berger willing to have me on for to explain all that?
You're here for the duration. 10 years after I'm dead, you can quit.
All right. Fair enough.
If you want to go ahead and share my screen real quick, I'll go ahead and pull up the channel here.
There we go. Oh, no. That's not it.
Wrong guy.
What's cool too, though.
There we go. There we go.
Here it is, Iron Oxide's very small channel, but we are growing at a pretty quick pace for less than a
streaming
year
right now.
I am streaming right now. Grassy Knoll right here. You'll catch it on mine and Mr. Berger's channel. You can see here we get lots of fun guests on the weekly Rogues Gallery, which I said is just a good time with a lot of actual friends that don't, aren't just hanging out for clout and whatever else you want to call it. We actually do enjoy each other's company, and we have a lot of great guests. You may recognize a few of the panelists. Exactly. You see, we had Jay on, we had these two, we had the Legion of Memers, No Green Rocks and Tiny But Fierce right there. We had Phil Diaz and Jack Tarlad was our guest last week. We have Mr. Berger on at the last Friday of every month. We close out the month with a little trivia, but it's a really good time and hope everybody comes and hangs out. And I will be announcing more shows the following month. So not February, but into March. Going to be doing a little restructuring, but I'll make some announcements on Twitter so you can follow me there to stay in the loop.
All right, excellent. Also catch Iron on Trivia Time with Darnell Quigley every Tuesday night at 8:15. He is co-hosting that particular show. I will be guest hosting on one episode just to get it kicked off, but Iron will be there and be square. Finally, from myself, let me run this quick promo for Mr. Berger at large.
Check out our newly redesigned website at MrBurgerTV.com. It's your ultimate destination for all things Mr. Berger. Grab exclusive merchandise, watch the latest videos, and unlock secret members-only perks. Join the Burger Bunch today on MrBurgerTV.com and help us crowdfund episode 1 of the Mr. Berger Show animated series, plus our upcoming live-action sci-fi horror film, The Chase. Be part of the adventure. Want to join the...
Before third quarter, everybody in this panel will have a commercial similar to that for absolutely free.
Wait,
I am not going. Vaughn will, Tiny will, as soon as she gets her channel up, which I hope I have something to do with that. Mr. Warren, I will make you one. Everybody, I'm making Iron like 5. So we're gonna start marketing properly with nice commercials and clean stuff as we go forward. I will be the one probably doing at least, if Vaughn will discuss it, but I would love to do a 30-second actual animation of Phenomenova.
Oh, I would love that.
That would be so cool.
And then campaign to actually get a full hour, 30-minute cartoon done.
Oh
then
my God, I
take
would love
that
that.
cartoon to one of the distribution companies and see if we can get some money. Listen, folks. Oh,
Vaughn,
Mr.
if
Berger.
you do a live action, I want to play Hotline.
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 I'll think about. Well, she is based on someone I know, so I'd have to make sure she gives you permission. You know, the character's
You
also
go-
Indian.
You gotta go
just letting you
adorable,
know.
and you can't get more adorable than Tiny. Listen,
Wait, did you say, wait, you said she's Indian?
Yes.
Wait, like South Asian Indian?
yes.
Yes.
मेरा नाम ज्योति है आपका नाम क्या है चेताबाद है
That's convincing for me.
No, I did North Indian dance for 13 years.
No, really?
Oh, that's really
so I actually
cool.
can speak some Hindi.
Oh, really? That's cool.
That's
Well,
a lot of stuff.
not only you're learning about UFOs, folks, but a little Southeast Asian language is thrown in at no extra charge. Listen, folks, about the upcoming shows, and we'll wrap it up. Next month, the last Monday in February, we will definitely do the disclaimer about not committing suicide or what's called, because we're getting into the Diddy territory. We will have footage and information that you will get nowhere else, guaranteed. It's not bullshit. There's some stuff that I have culled that nobody else has. Now, I don't have stuff like clips from videos that have been purported of celebrities doing a deed, but I have other stuff from testimony of people who are trying to broker the videotapes that everybody in Hollywood is trying to buy. I have emails of things and messages of things. So, and again, I'm not suicidal, nor do I drink, and I'm in very good shape. So the last Monday in February, Iron and I, and we hope to have everybody back for that particular one. So the Diddy tapes will be on that Monday. The next Monday in March will be the Epstein list. We will go on the fake list and the real list. We will do as much as we can to say allegedly certain people are on it. We will always preface that with allegedly, but we will go down the entire list. And again, keep this in mind. Every name that we say is alleged. All right.
Mm-hmm.
We will go down how they got on the list. We will talk about how Whitney Webb has done extensive research about the Epstein list. Hell, I would like to get Whitney Webb on here so that she can talk about the list. I don't want her to get into the Jamie Dimon stuff because we really are going to get. I don't
You're
want
pushing it right now.
I don't want Iron and myself having to step out of the house looking over our shoulders for the next 9 months. We're not going to touch the Jamie Dimon stuff or the banker stuff, just the celebrity stuff.
I want to see a red dot on you.
But we will
Black
go over
jackets
the
aren't that
Epstein
expensive.
list in absolute detail. Hopefully by then, Kash Patel will have at least gotten the process started. If not, just release the list. That's all he needs to do. Just release the list. You don't have to go into detail. You don't have to go into how many times they flew. Just release the damn list. That's it. The
Well,
rest.
supposedly they're afraid of vigilantes.
Well,
Afraid if they release the list, people who are upset about what happened to those poor girls and young boys will do something about it.
But there's some people on that list that should be exposed. I understand that. I understand that, but there's some people on that list that should be exposed.
I don't
They
have a problem
should
with vigilantism. I'm just explaining why they say they
I
can't.
understand.
It's like a convenient excuse right there, frankly.
Yeah.
Tiny is
It's
not,
everyone else's fault, guys.
is Tiny. Tiny is not pro Epstein. Let that be said as public. Not pro Epstein. So we're going with that, and then after that, in March, April, and May, we're getting back on the UFO topic, where we go over the whistleblower on Reddit, and then we go over the Philip Germain files. Look it up. I can't even talk about it until I get more things done, because that involves murder, that involves video, that involves abductions, and that involves detailed explanation as to the zookeepers and why they are here. Philip Germain files coming up in, I believe, May. That is going to be a huge show because it's I don't even want to talk about it. It's messed up. It's really messed up. What the deal was made as to why don't we know more about these aliens? Why don't we know more about abductions? Why don't we know about what there's a deal that's been struck between the zookeepers and certain people. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. I wish you we're gonna go out and sing bye for the panel. Love, peace, and chicken grease. I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Bye.
Night.
Later.
Bye.
Thank you.